Oh my God.
Hey Fenty family, it's Asia and Nanette. We are back to talk to you about our favorite product, the Fenty Foundation. It is amazing, a soft matte foundation in case you didn't know. Has a beautiful finish, makes your skin look pretty flawless like mine and Nanette's. You probably can't even tell that I have something on right now because look at this. Look at that.
Flawless.
Flawless, you could just wake and go. Not wake and bake, wake and go.
Wake and go.
We about to take it down to the ground.
Foundation.
So stay tuned, we're gonna give you some cute tips and tricks on how we apply our foundation and how we prep and prime our skin and what we love about it.
All right, let's get started. So first we're gonna start with a super moisturized, primed base. With skincare, I usually like to have a lot of time in between each step. At first I thought this was just kind of like bullshit, but it really does make a difference. So after I wash my face, I'll wait a minute to let my skin really dry, and then I'll tone, and then let the toner really sink in, and then I'll put moisturizer, waiting another minute in between. But this really helps because it lets everything dry, soak in before you put on the next step. So here, I've already put on my moisturizer, and next step is our Pro Filt'r primer. I'm gonna put about a pump and a half, and just really apply it, let it sink in.
So I'm a little bit different than Nanette because I use the primer as my moisturizer instead of actually putting on another moisturizer. My skin gets really greasy and I tend to sweat a lot. So if I don't do as much of a pump, I do about one pump, and then I focus in this area. This is where I feel like my pores look the largest. How do I take it out? I'm not the neatest makeup applier. I'm not even that nice to my skin, but yeah, I'll get all up in there.
You gotta be nice to your skin.
I try, I really do.
So I just finished putting on my primer, and I'm gonna let it sit, like I mentioned earlier, for about 1 or 2 minutes. I only started doing this recently, but it makes a huge difference, especially because I have a lot of texture, pores around my nose. For some reason, when I let it sit between putting on foundation, it just goes on smoother, just really nice and like not so, textured.
Yeah. So I take my foundation and I shake it. I shake it like you shake a bottle of Snapple. And you're like popping at the bottom to get all the like.
That's old school.
That's how I do. You probably seen it in the video before where I literally just I don't even do a full pump of anything. I like put it on my forehead as much as I want, which is a very little bit. Down my cheeks, sometimes I make like a little shape with it.
This is where she gets artsy.
I like to show that I can paint. I'm a painter.
Yeah. Beautiful.
But I don't do a lot. I like pretty much barely any coverage at all because my skin, I'm pretty satisfied with the way my skin is. I have like some dark spots that I like to cover. So I take the foundation brush 110, and then where those little spots are, I just kind of brush it out. And it looks crazy in the beginning because I'm just trying to get it all spread out.
Now brush it out.
Brush it out.
Brush it out.
So now you can see it's literally not even rubbed in.
It's a nice thin layer.
Well, I'm not done. I like to do Rihanna's favorite method, which is where you like press into the skin and kind of roll.
Yep.
Especially like up near this nose area. Because I don't want to have a streak. Sometimes I've noticed I've made the mistake of having like a streak just going straight down my nose. If I just would have pressed and rolled it, it might look a little more blended.
Yeah, I think sometimes with foundation, it can really take a while to apply because you've got to be meticulous, make sure everything's covered, but because it is the base to everything, if you're gonna spend a lot of time, it should be on your foundation.
Yeah.
And I guess now I've waited like 5 minutes.
Like come on, keep up.
I'm ready to put my foundation on. And so usually we'd recommend 1 to 2 pumps for full coverage, but I also like a more light to medium coverage for my day-to-day. So I'm gonna mix 1 pump of foundation and 1 pump of primer. I like to use the back of the brush just because that way I feel like the foundation's not sinking into my finger as I mix it. So you've got like this, and then I'm just gonna go, do like that, put dabs of it on my face. Really focusing on my nose and like kind of T-zone because that's where it gets most oily. It's got the biggest pores, the most textured. And then I'm gonna start from the center of the face and then move outwards for a more natural look. And similar to Asia, I kind of just start like brushing away and then I'll do the dab.
You do the dab?
Mm-hmm, the dab.
Dab?
I like you were saying, I really like our foundation because it's not super cakey. And it looks so good in pictures.
It looks good in person and in pictures. Every time someone's like, oh, you have such beautiful skin. And I'm like, you know, it's that Fenty Beauty.
You know.
Like as I look in the mirror at myself, I'm seeing that it really looks like my skin.
You're not like, whoa, mask.
No, but if I'm like going out and I know I'm gonna take a lot of pictures, I would definitely do more. This is like a nice everyday covering up my little dark spots. Like, I don't know if you noticed before, but you can kind of see it here. A little dark spot right there. All right, it's not even that bad. I will take the foundation sometimes and just apply it right on it. Like, you know, most people will put concealer. I would just use the foundation because it's just enough to erase that. Boom. And now I can go outside.
For me, just because I have like oily skin and sometimes I have like texture around my nose, I like to use our precision sponge just to kind of finish it off and make sure there's no like streaks or anything like that. So I'll use a damp precision sponge, kind of dab it in. And then similar to the brush, I'll just kind of press it and roll it. But it also feels really nice on my face because it's like a little massage. It's cool, you know? How's it look?
Looks good. All your pores are gone.
Oh, it's my dream.
I never knew you had pores.
I wish, but thanks. I gotta say, sometimes there's a little bit of a dry down too when you apply paint to a wall, as Priscilla said. The color will change slightly as it dries. So if you're ever between two shades, go for the lighter one, or head to fentybeauty.com or sephora.com for our foundation shade finder, which will really help pick foundations when you're searching online, because I know it's tough.
The shade numbers aren't necessarily in order of lightest to darkest.
Yep.
For example, I'm shade 370. If I were in a colder climate and my skin is getting a little bit lighter, doesn't mean I would necessarily go down to a 360 because 360 is actually a neutral tone.
Yep.
This is 370, this is 380, and this is actually a perfect match to my skin.
Yep.
And if you can see, they're so different.
Yep.
This undertone doesn't even look like it would match me. So I wouldn't go up in the summertime to 380. I would actually probably be 390, which you can see the undertones are a lot similar. This is just actually a darker pigment, which is kind of what I look like in the summertime. We'll see. Be another video, I'll be like, you guys, I'm 390. I just got back from Turks and Caicos.
Oh, hey. All right, so we finished foundation, and of course we got a stop and blot. Especially because I'm super oily, and I like to make sure we have our soft matte base. So before I put on any other makeup, I'm gonna blot around my T-zone.
Using Invisimatte blotting powder?
Yep, the Invisimatte blotting powder, thank you. Around my laugh lines too. And I've actually seen people use this before foundation and after primer. So really, you could kind of take it wherever you want to go. If you want to be super matte, put on the primer, put on some blotting powder, and then put on foundation. For me, I'm just gonna do it. I don't need to add any more steps to my skincare routine, so I'm just gonna put it after foundation.
Yeah, I do it after I do my completed look. So usually once I've highlighted and concealed and contoured, I typically sweat during my makeup process.
Girl, you sweaty.
I'm so sweaty. I'm sweating right now. So
I'm sweating a little bit too.
Usually I get pretty oily like around here, even though I've highlighted, so I'll just go in and like hit this area.
Yeah.
And then I hit my nose. I do like to highlight down my nose, but sometimes it looks grease, not sheen.
It's a fine line between dewy and greasy.
Dewy and greasy. It doesn't look juicy.
Oh, juicy.
Juicy or douce. Turn up.
Douce. New term. Hashtag that.
Douce. I mean, that's the type of alcohol, so we could do shots and swatches with it.
Oh. Give this girl some shots.
I love the blotting powder because it gets it, like, it takes it away effortlessly. And it doesn't even show up white. Like, I don't look washed. I don't look too dry. I typically look good. Because I'm a cute girl. So, I'm just kidding.
Tell them. So that was our foundation tips and tricks video. I hope this helped you. If there's any other videos you want to see, please leave a comment below because you know we read them all.
Tell us what you like about the foundation. I mean, we said what our favorite things are. We love to hear what you like because maybe that will inspire us to like send you something for free.
All right, don't forget to subscribe and we will see you later.